shows, when I don't do all the opening things for a few days, I do feel rusty.
Yeah, it's like you have to coordinate. You're like a Chinese synchronized swimming team.
This is the Brian Moreno Show, the weekly news extravaganza. This is what Bill Riley would have evolved into the full space if he would have really kept his journalistic integrity. And
please don't relate me to Bill O'Reilly.
No, this is at one point in time he was more than just a groper.
Yeah, I watched some clips of him from the 80s, and I was like, oh, this man seems very knowledgeable.
Yeah, he was at one point in time a knowledgeable, some would call him a journalist.
Wow.
I know.
I need to inform myself of 1980s Bill O'Reilly, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Check the archives. You're like, wow.
Yeah. So, thank you for joining us wherever you are taking time out of your day. The whole Spotify planet, Google Podcast, Breaker, YouTube especially. This is where we started because this is a show with visuals and all kinds of things, I guess.
Sounds.
Yeah, well, visuals. I think visuals is the only thing that makes something a show, I guess, right? I was trying to think of anything else.
Maybe like a feeling.
Emotions.
Yeah.
You get the facial expressions. You get more than what you would have. And those voices, if you're just listening to us, that is Richard Sarvate.
Hello. Hi.
In studio. Hey. It does not always sound so sultry, but sometimes.
Welcome.
And then the one and only, our very own vaccine shot. The antibodies in a world of virus. This is all.
She's not a vaccine in the world of the virus. She's just the antibodies.
Yeah, she's the antibodies. Isn't that better than an antibody? Better than on the scale of good to bad?
I mean, I think both are good.
What's better?
But she's implying that you have to first have the virus and then you get the cure.
This is Dr. Abby.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Now, are you saying that antibodies aren't as good as a vaccine?
I mean, you're comparing apples and oranges. They're both necessary.
Yeah, which I do regularly. That's a very interesting point.
I like oranges much better.
I also am an orange fan.
Yeah, well,
the underdog in that comparison.
And the underdog.
Yeah.
You think an orange is an underdog?
Compared to an apple?
In the fruit? No, there's definitely more varieties of apple than orange, for sure. I would say an orange variety, there's
blood oranges
50.
and regular oranges.
Yeah, but there's
navel oranges, mandarin oranges.
Yes, but the apples, there's thousands.
Well, I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Some have fantasized about, dream jobs or what if and that.
You want an orchard?
Oh, my goodness. More than you could ever imagine.
Apples get so much love. New York City is the big apple. There's no city which is the big orange.
Yeah.
Florida is the sunshine state, and it's an orange coming up from...
Well, I guess Michigan's college team, not Michigan, Syracuse.
And California used to be orange, something about... It wasn't just raisins. It wasn't just...
California oranges.
Yeah, petition to change Los Angeles' name to the Big Orange.
Yeah, I agree. Motion passes.
That's actually a fantastic name. This news show has started off so much different. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to those who comment. I will bring my this will be on the sports show, but someone commented on my cholesterol level.
His cholesterol is fine.
How are they able to see your cholesterol level?
No.
The show?
They're like, what do you think Brian's cholesterol level is? Just another.
No haters.
Another hater. But no. I kept sometimes I do anything racist or bigoted, whatnot, I delete. But, or they hold them for me to delete. But this one, was a clear indication, of someone's concerned for my health. So I will bring my current cholesterol. I will read it on the next sports show.
Just make
because
sure
that's
you
where the
get-
comment was left. But I found that sometimes people like will leave because the way a video will go, they'll leave a comment on like the next video. It's very weird.
Well, you can always have me call in to comment, give you a bill of health.
Have you had your apple a day?
So, so that was the recent. Hey, we never get. I only get compliments on you and Dr. Abby. All the shit usually is me.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, not that I want negative comments on me, but don't give Brian negative comments.
No. There's
We're a
there's
happy
always
family.
some. No. There's always some.
Dude, there's always some haters. Like I took a 5-month break from TikTok. I posted last week. Immediate hate. Just like the first comment was Americans not funny.
Wow.
I was like, what the hell?
He's on. I don't know where he's from, but he could be a land full of comedic talent. You could be extremely judgy.
Yeah, the Bulgaria comedy scene is thriving right
Yeah,
now.
well, yeah, I hear it is. I absolutely. I not only hear it is. I hear it's more popping than the LA comedy scene.
I mean, a lot of scenes are more
It's a
popular than
low
LA
bar,
right
I
now.
think.
Yeah. I just was at a comedy show in the park with Tom Rhodes, and there was 4 people in the audience. So
Really, in the park?
yeah, 2 nights ago in Pan Pacific Park in the amphitheater, there was a show.
Oh,
Just Tom Rhodes sitting front and center watching all these open micers.
but it's fine. You know. I guess that you didn't hear that, right?
we heard more like, yeah.
That being said, let's get to some news. And for those who are just watching or listening for the first time, this news show is a real news show. All these stories are real that we have picked from the worldwide
From the news orchard.
from the worldwide news orchard with the 1,000 varieties. This news it may be less abrasive than whatever news you watch, but it's also informative and hopefully funny from time to time. Doctor,
Till
please
the land.
take it away, Doctor.
So continuing our trend of covering topics on NFTs or
Yes.
non-fungible tokens for the new listeners, BEEPLE, a digital artist, has sold the world's highest costing non-fungible token for $69 million at auction. And for something that you can't put in your hand, that's a lot of money.
But I was reading in the article that he has copyrights to it, so no one can reproduce it without his permission.
Okay, so there's a lot of interesting stuff about NFTs that we have been discussing. I was one of the first before all these news organizations. I've been telling you all about this for months. I didn't buy any. That being said, this market, okay, the stock market is getting flooded with something right now called SPACs, okay? It's just, it's basically a special acquisition company. It's when one company does all the paperwork, they become public, and they generate a bunch of money to hopefully make a product. Some of these companies don't even they just got
raise
patents.
money.
They just raise money, and they're basically selling shit, okay? The art market, since it has started, and there are people willing to pay for shit, there are art dealers that will come up with the biggest piles of shit you've ever seen.
Yeah, we should be making some art, some digital art, dude.
So yeah, this NFT BEEPLE, I've been following him on Instagram for, I'm guessing, a year. But I would see the images. It would always just be like, oh, cool images. A lot of it was Donald Trump hate.
Yes, that
Stuff.
is a lot. And this NFT is a collage of most of his work.
Well, that's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
He basically did like a greatest hits album and sold it for $69 million. Not even
Crazy.
an original piece of art.
Uh-huh.
It's a greatest hits album.
Wait, of all his other artwork?
Yeah.
That you can see
Okay.
anywhere for free.
Well, see, that's why don't I just turn my jokes into NFTs? You know what I mean? Like, I
Well,
could probably sell
you
those.
can. You just who's gonna buy them?
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
and
this
this
guy.
is I have a theory about the person who bought this. I personally think the 69 million. I believe this. Okay, a lot of the art market in this type of world, it is the prices are inflated artificially. Like hedge funds need places to park their money, and so they artificially inflate the market to get other people to buy things to create a market. I have a theory because it's an anonymous buyer who I think is crazy. The 69 million I think is crazy, but it made a splash and it changed the market. It was news, the headline news.
So it's market manipulation.
No. They buy the NFT for the 69 million. They say they create the price. Now it's worth that. No one can ever say it's not worth that. They can park this cash off the books, say they have it in some kind of art, and they've artificially bumped up a market that they're already invested in. Companies who are invested in Top Shot for a few $100 million. Companies that have billions of dollars have to find. There are people
So it is market manipulation.
Who think, well, yes and no. They're making a market and they're buying some for 69 million, even though it's not worth it. But they're rising all the water's rising, so all the ships rise. This is my personal theory on it. This that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And this is why people come to the Brian Moreno brain for things all the time. But this is something that I firmly believe it's probably not a person. It's an organization trying to manipulate this whole market.
Well, but will it maintain the value?
Well, even if it doesn't, they can write it off as a loss.
They just write it off, right?
But how you only know what something is worth based on what someone is willing to pay or appraisals. So,
right, but what's the point of parking the money in it if you can never use that money ever again?
Because you have 20, 30 billion dollars that you're working with. You're a giant fund with 10 billion underneath you, and you need to, or you might be a fund with 30 million and you're a manager with 10 underneath you or something, and you got to make a splash.
Right, so if you make a splash and you also hold a bunch of other NFTs,
well, not just NFTs. You hold stake in companies that make NFTs.
Yeah,
things that are much more creative than what I think people are just seeing this as.
Yeah,
because this artist BEEPLE, he is a good artist. He makes some really creative stuff. Okay. Jeff Koons and the other guy who's the other living artist, they make, I think Jeff Koons is more crap than BEEPLE. If you look up what Jeff Koons, the art, once the minute it starts going in like lobbies of buildings and stuff, like you're dead as an artist.
So here's the thing. See, as we move into a virtual world, everyone's saying, "Oh, you can't hold this art. You can't hold it."
Well, this art is going to be up digitally. It's got to be up digitally.
Right. So in some digital museum.
Probably.
Yeah, and you can go into a digital museum.
Well, there will be ways. When NFTs, if they're really going to take off, you have to be able to figure out how to license it. Totally. So if you have an NFT, you can, of your comedy, you can license it out to a party for something, Yeah,
like a guy's going to go do a joke.
Just play my jokes. Like, no, you can buy my top 50 jokes, play them at a party for, you at this time are probably, you've won your EGOT. So I'm assuming 50 jokes of yours is costing $200,000.
What's the EGOT again? Oh,
Emmy,
Grammy. I was like, wait, this sounds very familiar. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Yeah, so 50 just Richard Sarvate NFT jokes are probably going for $250,000.
Probably, yeah.
And it's a one time. It's just a licensing fee.
Well, hold up, but that just sounds like a license because there's already licensing in place. Like,
No. Well, BEEPLE will always get commission off that NFT.
Right, yeah.
But there's no way... there's no way that's worth 69 million.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to, no, there's no way. Yeah. I'm just trying to think what's the difference between licensing and an NFT because like there's already like, okay, they already play my stuff on Sirius, and it's like every time it gets played, I get like a couple pennies or whatever. So it's like all that stuff is already being managed, you know? So it's,
Yeah,
I'm
but
wondering how is this-
they don't have the video, or they could have like a thing of you at the end where you like point at the camera.
Oh, visuals is what you're talking about.
Well, they're not getting the whole kit and caboodle, you know? Like, we want every, like, a little piece of the experience. Like, if you watch there's a NFT of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the basketball player, dunking, and you see it from all the angles. The thing is, you can just go on YouTube and watch.
This is the problem, is that like most of
I
these
can go on
things
YouTube and see it,
that are
though.
turned
I can
into
go on
NFT, you can
YouTube and
see
just play
anywhere.
Richard Sarvate at my party right
But
now
the
for
same-
free.
Same thing with the museum. You can just go to the museum and look at the painting.
Not
you
for
know?
free. You got to pay in. You got to pay.
There's free museum days.
Are there free Richard Sarvate comedy days?
Well, sure.
I'm still
most of the days are free right now.
I'm still trying to book my party with you.
I bet if we started a virtual museum that we like, where creators had to pay a fee to have their work shown in our museum, I bet that would take off. If you want to go in on this.
Well, no, I mean, there's going to be better licensing. What? Okay, doctor.
Well,
Could we make doctor NFTs?
I don't even know what that means.
So doctors could make a little side money. Be like, hey, watch me take out this guy's heart. Watch me help
That
this.
sounds
Watch
like
me
a
put
lot
a
of
CPAP in this guy's.
liability issues.
Well, HEPA. You just got to blur out
But
their
I mean,
face
that's the
or
same
something.
thing that people are doing on Instagram is Instagram doctors, which is a lot more plastic surgery and cosmetics.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. We could get this into all parts of dentistry. Watch me. Well,
I
the
would
reason why we
not
haven't been here because I had to get a couple crowns. Watch me crown Brian Moreno. Zin, zin, zin.
I would watch that.
Like that's at least a $5 NFT.
Dude, we have to make NFTs. That's non-negotiable.
Yeah, we have to figure out how to make them.
That's where we spend our time now.
Yeah. All right, doctor. Now let's keep on the crypto.
Well, Jeff Koons just looks like he makes balloon animal sculptures.
Well, yeah, for $58 million.
Which is crazy to me.
that sit in the lobbies of hotels.
Yeah,
like when your art hits the lobbies of like buildings, it's dead. You're dead as an artist. That's the whole thing. Like the minute
like Thomas Kincaid and shit.
well, yeah, whatever. The minute it hits lobbies, like you're just dead.
Well, I mean, he's not poor.
No, he's not poor. Okay, doctor. Moving on.
Well, so I think we should talk about some of the criticism of NFTs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Because there was one scathing opinion piece on Mashable that we will post talking about how it's actually a way to steal other people's art and that they had these bots where you could write a comment on someone's tweet, and if there was like some digital art in that tweet, you would turn it into an NFT and then you own someone else's stuff. So a lot of people are hating on it that it's actually a way to steal art and it's not good for digital artists because
well, no, that's just like remixing a song.
Yeah. Right.
which
sucks.
I'm just posing, a point of argument.
Like somebody mashed up Jay-Z and the Beatles, and a lot of people didn't like it because, for a lot of good reasons.
I can't imagine that sounding very good.
But that being said, no, it wasn't bad. It was the Gray album, I think it was called. The Black and the White album. But either way, it's like wherever art is being done, there are going to be people who try to copy it, try to steal it. So
Well, it's the same thing. So you gave me this Kyle Kuzma card. If somebody else tacks a tweet at the end of the card and tries to sell that, that's not worth as much as my card,
But you can hold the card.
Yeah, I don't know about this if holding something has any value. I mean, that's just what we think because we live in a physical world. But as the world becomes virtual, I think holding doesn't have that much value.
I find no appeal for an NFT.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to live in this theoretical world you're proposing.
Yeah.
I'm a Zoom comedian, dude. Like I live online, you know.
But I don't know if I'm going to live in a world where holding things doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm going to live in this world.
Well, this resistance is exactly why NFTs are going to take off. Bro, that could never take off. That's exactly
I'm
what
not
it takes
saying it's
off.
not going to take off, but I live in a world where holding things has a value.
Yeah.
It's the
Me
same
too.
thing as when Bitcoin first started. People are like, no, I need to live in a world where your currency has a physical counterpart, you know? So, and now Bitcoin's taking off. So it's the same thing.
You know,
You cannot hold a Bitcoin.
no, but you can have the numbers about it.
You can use it to get things that you can hold.
Yeah.
I feel like you can do that with an NFT, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
I'll trade you my NFT for, your water bottle.
That's just barter.
your
barter,
NFT
yeah.
of a joke? No way. No way. I can get that on YouTube for
Wow.
free.
Yeah.
Here
We've
this-
discussed this. I can get it on YouTube for free. Why would I pay you for it?
You're going to wish you could come back to this moment 3 years from now.
That's so, I can
It's
play,
recorded, too.
I can play your comedy for free right now for everyone to prove it.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can right now, but
Not in 3
Not
years.
after
Not
take a
after
video
the
soon.
NFT overlords are done with this.
Yeah, you're. This is so funny. All right, Doctor, give me some Bitcoin.
Okay.
I want to explain
So,
this thing.
another topic that we wanted to cover that had to do with crypto and Bitcoin and NFTs is the climate issue that a lot of people are giving hate to Bitcoin on. And I had to do some deep YouTube self-education to figure out, what was really at the core of the problem. And a lot of the criticism is from mining and transactions, that they're saying all the computer efforts that go into mining.
But look at all those computers there.
Well, so it was hard for me as because I have only recently discovered crypto, and I think a lot of people take some of this knowledge for granted. So for our viewers that maybe aren't as educated, there are a finite number of Bitcoins to be discovered. Yep. Not all of them have been mined yet. And the way that you get the system that Satoshi set up to release new Bitcoins is solving these little math equations. And the more people that are involved, they get harder and harder and harder. And so not all cryptocurrency is like this. And B, there's an endpoint. Once all the Bitcoins that are to be mined have been mined, there's no more mining. And so, from my opinion, I think that this is a short-term argument against Bitcoin. I agree that all the energy that's going into mining is crazy.
Well, see, you guys have to understand because energy consumption is a huge thing. The people who are making money off mining now are people like the Chinese government.
Yeah.
Who just have unlimited access to energy.
Yeah.
And it's not clean energy in China, probably.
Well, no, you said they actually say they're using their gas, they can use the dirtiest gas stuff to create the energy that this needs. It doesn't
hilarious.
So they're actually saying that they are doing quite a bit but yeah, man, countries and small countries, they're literally taking power. There are people's power grids who have less power or don't have power for certain hours because government officials are doing mining for themselves and things like that.
Yeah, dude, they can use slave labor too if they want.
Well, yeah, so I want to, there is a lot of energy consumed, I want to be clear, but...
Which has a big carbon footprint because of all the sources of energy are not clean.
No, they're not, but a lot of Bitcoin is going to be, as it gets harder and harder, is about solving energy problems. So there will be energy issues solved because of it, because of the value.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think that Bitcoin was proof of concept, right? That cryptocurrency works, but the Bitcoin model is not. I don't think if a cryptocurrency takes off, Bitcoin is going to be what we use for transactions. I think it's going to be something modeled after it that has been updated to be made more green and clean. And Bitcoin will be a commodity like gold. and people will just hold it. Because people talk about all the transactions of Bitcoin taking a lot of energy. I think that the crypto world is learning from all of this, and something that really takes off will be a better model, in my opinion. That's what, as a noob.
Well, but I think you made a good point about that. Like, this is only going to last until everything is mined.
Yeah, and
After
it's finite.
mined-
After it's all mined, it's out there, and people are just going to hold it
Yeah.
until they want to cash it in and treat it like it. I've been seeing other big investors say Bitcoin is going to be like gold.
It's going to be like gold. Yeah.
Yeah, you just hold it.
Yeah.
And and then once something else comes in that's easier to make transactions with, and that's why all these newer coins are so interesting, because it's what's going to really take off to be a real currency that people use.
Right. Yeah. Because the issue with Bitcoin is that the blockchain, verifying the blockchain takes too much time.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Bitcoin is just proof of concept, in my opinion, and will be like gold.
Good point. Yeah. So we should find out which one.
Hold your Bitcoin.
And also which one is actually going to be used. We need to figure out.
Well,
Please
there's
put in the comments.
Cardano. I could tell there's a few of like some of the smaller ones. ADA. It is Aave. AAVA. Cardano.
We just got to grab a little bit.
No. There's a few.
Yeah,
Like these
and
are
just hold. I've been doing a lot of research in the cryptocurrency subreddit.
Nice.
Which is the authority.
Right.
And
It's the only one I can find.
in
So
cryptocurrency.
they don't give bad advice so far.
They started
so.
the GameStop thing, so I mean, why
Yeah.
not?
Well,
Yeah.
that was Wall Street Bets, but I love my Reddit communities.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. And let's move
So,
right
what do you think
along.
about these points that we made, Brian? Good points? Interesting points?
On the crypto? Yeah, I think absolutely. The only thing that I haven't seen yet is something else. Yes, Bitcoin is a proof of concept, but so many people have tried to do similar things, and I don't know why so many fail, and I don't know what it's going to take for something to get to the point of cryptocurrency, to the point of critical mass like Bitcoin has.
Yeah.
So these are questions, like, you bring up good points, but I still have a few unanswered questions about any of these derivative type of.
Well, maybe the
cryptos
one
that have
that's
come
going to
out.
take off isn't out yet.
No, you're right. Maybe it's not.
You know?
And I don't know what it's good like, and I don't know what, like I say, it takes, what the inertia it takes to get it to that point of critical mass. Like with Bitcoin, it has been.
Well, because Bitcoin was revolutionary. I think something that comes in and has some other revolutionary change on top of that model will be, potentially something that takes off. Another point I wanted to make is Satoshi Nakamoto. Have you looked at this man? His Wikipedia page says, born 1975, age 45, claimed, because it is so far off from how he looks.
Well, nobody
He
knows.
looks like 65.
Nobody
do we actually have a
knows.
picture of
Nobody knows.
There's a picture. If you Google him,
Nobody knows who created Bitcoin. Like, that's a pseudonym. He more than likely is dead.
well, whoever this picture comes up of is not.
He's more than
45.
likely dead and never got to see Bitcoin.
Yeah, on the Wikipedia page it says Satoshi is the name used by the presumed pseudonymous person or persons who developed Bitcoin. So it's not 100% sure.
No.
No,
Well, there's a picture of
I
an
knew,
old
yeah.
man.
There's
Well, yeah, that's so weird. They allowed that pig. Like, I don't know where you're looking, but
It says
yeah, 45
Dorian
claimed.
Nakamoto being Satoshi.
Yeah,
Argument. But this guy he's not 45.
well,
I'll tell
he's
you that
not.
much.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, and Japanese people are known for looking younger when they're
Yes,
way
Yeah,
older.
he's like 80.
yeah, so he's at least 80. I'm not looking at any of these photos. Let's move along, Doctor.
Okay,
we have
sorry,
news
I
to
apologize. Governor Cuomo.
cover. Oh, this is good. Yeah, give us the meat.
Is-
What's going on?
Oof. He is clinging to scraps right now.
So
Okay, because he has more accusers coming forward.
look at that. Look at the pictures they
The
use.
entire
Oh, the eyes.
Democratic
Oh my
Party,
Like,
the whole Democratic
You know,
Party
the
in
news
power
knows.
is telling him to GTFO,
Wow.
and he's just like, no, I will never resign.
So
It's just like, if that just makes me feel like you're guilty, like, get out. Like, if this is how you, like, no, you've been full of it for years.
Okay,
You create
so
toxic environments. You harass women and act like you're the savior. Like, get out.
what do you think? What are your thoughts, Richard?
Well, I don't. I mean, I know that it's not good to sexually harass women, but I don't know what's the worst. What has he really done? He's made shitty comments to women, right? He's made them feel uncomfortable, but he doesn't actually have any like sexual assault.
Well,
on his
one
thing,
woman
right?
claimed that he kissed her inappropriately at work.
See, but he came up in politics when a little smoocheroonie was A-okay.
That was recent, though. It wasn't like
No,
he
but
did
I'm
it in
just
the
saying
80s.
old habits die hard.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the thing is, he has been a proponent of women coming forward.
I love a good Democrat eating a Democrat. It's
Yeah,
Well, he's getting eaten by the whole gang.
when liberals get eaten by the pack. It is, God, it is. Oh. It is like National Geographic video.
It is.
They just pick every piece of meat off
that's
the
what's
bone.
So funny is that Democrats will only accept what's perfect,
Right.
and Republicans will allow anything to slide if it keeps you in power. It's crazy. It's just the exact opposite.
Yeah, it is, and I think
They're like, oh yeah, he killed people. Like,
I think a liberal feasting is incredible,
Yeah,
and I am.
If you go into politics, you should definitely go Republican.
I mean,
please, Lord, no.
yeah. I
Please,
don't,
Lord, no.
I don't know what the.
I think he would be the
parties-
Brian Moreno party. Let's be real.
That's
like,
true,
you know, I don't think he's joining anyone else's club.
Well, yeah, it would. You don't know. Like, there has to be some type of apocalyptic event where the whole system is broken down for people to turn to me. So.
Well, I think
Which
it's
is not,
happening, yeah.
which is not out of question.
Right, yeah.
I mean, if you keep hoarding cryptocurrency, and the apocalypse comes, maybe you will be the overlord for all of us.
Yeah, I think
And Richard and I will be in a good position, I think.
Yeah, totally. I'll be like an aide or a
Yeah,
campaign
see,
manager.
Yeah,
I
I'll
could
be like
see why
the Surgeon General.
Why it looks like my cholesterol's high. Let's move right along.
Abby's just like,
Doctor.
no, Brian Moreno's in perfect health.
Yeah, I've never
fit for
seen a
office.
leader in better physical fitness. I think I wanted to cover the blanket that he wore because Cuomo was caught like outside
say caught.
huddling in a blanket, and the memes just went bananas.
Yeah, right here. Let's pull.
Yeah,
it
he
up.
looks like Linus from Snoopy.
He looks warm.
Like if you are huddling into the blanket outside on the phone, like
It looks like even with a bottle of beer, it's
Yeah.
probably root beer.
yeah,
But you have to know better. You can't be out looking like you were up all night drinking.
yeah.
Calling your dealer. I know it's 9. I know it's a 9, but I have a big day
How
ahead of
fast
me.
can you be here? Yeah.
I will never
I'm
resign.
I'm sorry for waking you up so early. Like,
He goes outside to talk on the phone. It's great.
Ugh.
It's like
yeah, like
Literally,
you-
no one can stand him right
like
now.
look at that.
Like, an image of being all alone is,
That definitely looks like a beer, though, doesn't it?
yeah. Well, I think people were talking about, like, what's he drinking?
Yeah, that beer's gonna get a whole bunch of sales. Like you got to drink Sam Adams winter
And then it
lager.
also looks like right here, it's hard to see, but it looks like he's got a very pouty bottom lip. They might have even shadowed in a little bit.
Oh, people are saying it's a Saratoga spring water. It does look
Oh.
like that because I've had those. That's a little disappointing.
That is sad.
Spring water isn't going to get you through this crisis, my friend.
So, doctor,
Yes.
he should just resign and let
I think-
someone.
I think he's done. I think at this point, like, he's only going to face more disgrace. But I think he's dug his heels in too deep
That's
now.
a good impeachment shirt. You could probably sell $1 million to face the disgrace.
Yeah, let's make
That's a great impeachment
Well,
shirt.
should we get him started? Some new
Well, no,
Brian
I'm-
Moreno Show merch coming.
Face the disgrace.
But they've already started things that are going to lead to an impeachment inquiry, and if he lets all this out, like he's never coming back from this. He's done.
But I think you make a good point. If he was a Republican, this would
No,
not
if he
even
was a
be news.
Republican, they'd be telling him to run for president.
Yeah.
You know,
So maybe
they'd be
he
like,
should
"Look
just-
at all this attention."
Maybe he should just switch to Republican.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's not a bet. That would be a way to save his butt.
Yeah, totally.
I think just be an
That's
internet
actually,
troll.
you could play both sides of the fence here. Face this. What is it?
Face the disgrace.
Face the disgrace shirts on one side.
Disgrace the face.
And then advise him to switch Republican, or you pull the or you go through with the campaign.
Oh, so we're blackmailing him now?
Well, no, I mean, I would like to see a flip flop. That's the only way the story would get better is if he flip flopped
To Republican?
Yeah, because it's like right now it's just like, okay, I bring up the National Geographic video because I've watched the beginning of a lot of those. I enjoy the hunt and then maybe that first initial, but when the animals are pulling up with blood all over them, I've seen enough.
So you're at the point you've seen enough.
Yeah, like let them grope
Like
or get them out. Let them grope, let them grope or get them out.
Your two choices, Cuomo, stay with the Democrats and face a disgrace, or join the Republicans and come to this scum.
Come to this. Yeah, I don't. Like the whole state of New York is a very weird place. Because
it's very polarized.
Well, it is because New York City is so much different than
upstate New York is like the South.
Well, upstate no, like in Buffalo's a different place. Like I have a lot of family there, and I have to say that Cuomo tried to be a little too much of a celebrity.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that to me, it's like, just move on. Like you were shaming Trump for doing the same kind of shit. You were just doing it your own way. And to me, that's fugazi,
I agree. And I think that's why so many Dems are throwing him under the bus, because that goes against
that's why I
everything
say,
they stand for, in my opinion.
Yeah, no way, Josie. No way. Moving right along. What you got for us, Doctor?
There is a house in Grenada Hills that puts all the other houses on hoarders to shame, because it's basically a junkyard, and neighbors have been struggling to get anyone to do absolutely anything for it.
Look, let's start.
Years it's been like this. Just
this is amazing.
Garbage dump.
I wonder what the inside of the house is like.
Look at that. That is. Look at the lot. Like it is.
And it's like nobody can really understand what is even the point of this.
Yeah, it's like a random
And there's
junkyard.
rodents and raccoons going in and out.
Going in and out.
Yeah,
Look at that. Who got it set up? Like that is that's so funny. Just imagine if you lived right next.
Yeah, the juxtaposition of these houses. Like they got these beautiful pools and stuff.
Yeah. It's like Dump City.
Now, we've all experienced hoarders. Okay. Let's get to it here.
I think some of us have hoarding tendencies, myself included.
Sure.
Now, what if I throw this away and I need it?
I know.
And then you do it, and then 3 years later,
okay.
If I just had that thing.
Well, let's be clear.
I clean out my closet with that Amy Tan or whatever, just joy, does this give me joy? I just throw everything out.
Amy Tan.
Sorry. Amy Tan is
Marie
the Joy Luck
Kondo.
Club. Yeah. Amy Tan was the Joy Luck Club.
Marie Kondo.
No, it's Marie Kondo. And that's the thing. I think one of the funniest memes I saw over pandemic was, but Marie Kondo wish she still had her shit.
Because you threw everything away. Now you're stuck at home.
I used almost, and one of the biggest compliments Richard has ever paid me is I like how you use everything, because I do.
You're like a Native American. You're like, okay, what is this for? Okay.
Yeah, well, I use, and I like to have things so I can see them to use my tools. And that being said, there is a fine line between seeing your stuff and stepping over a turkey that from 2 years ago,
right.
Which I actually saw in an episode of Hoarders.
Well, I think that
a woman had just a turkey from a couple years ago, not in the fridge, just on the floor.
Proportionate to your storage space.
A turkey.
That sounds like
there's no space.
Like a cooked
thing
turkey
from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but in the plastic, it was just
But was it moldy? I don't know.
It was in the you couldn't tell because it was under someone's, and they're like, "This is a turkey."
That's disgusting.
Might need that. Sounds like my parents' house growing up.
Your parents' house had a turkey?
Well, no, my
on the floor.
my parents would they would leave food out on the table for weeks.
That's a little
like they would
much.
Okay, I didn't finish my food.
You
and it's on
seem
the
very
table.
clean and organized.
It's because it's a reaction.
Yeah, it's a reaction.
Because you do.
I grew up in filth, in true filth. Like you didn't know how many people lived in the house I was in. You're like, there's some objects moving. You don't know, like, it was disgusting.
Wow. I didn't. I
See,
I usually don't ask it. Like, to me, my mom was a very much of a purge type of cleaner. Like, I don't want to see it. And if I do, it's going in the trash.
Oh, so that's amazing.
Well, no. Well, that's why to me, it's like some of the stuff I'm like, I mean, she says my baseball cards were stolen by the movers. I think they were.
She definitely threw them out. I think my grandma did the same thing.
No, but they were in plastic, but like they were very nicely kept.
Maybe she sold them to them.
Nope, sold them. No, they would have just taken them. Like, oh.
Yeah,
well, my dad is a little bit of a hoarder, and so when I see myself doing certain things, like I have done a few purges in the past few years to try to not be like that. Because he's got like my old med school books that he can't seem to let go of for some reason.
I clean regularly.
You save your tissues?
Yeah, like he's got all these kinds of crazy things from when we were kids.
No, I purge stuff regularly, but things do have a place. That's one thing that I remember my mother saying, and she's right. Things do have a place.
As you keep your stuff proportional to your storage, I think you're okay, right? If you have enough storage space to keep the just-in-case items, but if you've got things spilling out and like the closet's crazy, like you need to purge.
I mean, their backyard is kind of their storage space.
So like this place is way out of proportion.
Well, like that place, I would like to know the point.
Yeah,
I would like.
It's crazy.
No. When, because there has to be more than one person. Where the one person that day was like, well, fuck it. I guess Joe is not throwing the shit away. I'll collect stuff too.
We have to infiltrate. We have to make friends with these people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, no, they're done. They busted. What was the story? Ed, did they bust them then?
No, like the neighbors are mad because nobody's doing anything.
Oh, they were just showing it. I thought the
this
sheriffs
has
were
been
going to
going
go.
on for years. They've been making complaints. Nobody does anything.
Whoa. I mean, there's not a lot they can do. And there's this, and if the cops, they can't do anything because they're on their property. You don't.
Yeah, you can't tell someone what to do with their property.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, look, the residents got an email from an inspector with the LA Fire Department saying cleaning up the property could open the city up to a lawsuit and that funds to remove the trash are not available. I've got tons of similar cases. He's been in court for years. No resolution. Ain't nothing they can do.
Well, and that's.
Well, I mean, what's the discomfort to anyone around them? They're like, we have to look at your place.
Well, there's rodents coming in and out of there.
Animals.
Animals
and
smells
insects.
Probably it's disgusting.
Do you know?
And they come in and out of the night in the middle of the night, dumping and picking up trash.
If you
like,
got
it sounds like a
cut
nightmare.
by something there, there's not a tetanus shot in the world that's going to save you.
Yeah, you're just sitting at the pool next to having a cocktail and a fucking rat comes out.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
bites
maybe
you.
like
A giant one too. Not
There's
a
gonna
little
be like a
mutant
rabies
rat.
outbreak from this house.
Oh yeah, exactly. There are probably rats with rabies living in that
Yeah,
trash.
so I don't think you want to be in your pool next door.
Right, and it's bringing your house value
Sunbathing.
down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even sell because
And
people
you're
are like,
paying-
I ain't buying the house.
And you're paying a lot of property tax and getting nothing from the city,
Oh my god.
because we live in California.
Wow. So, and there's nothing they can do. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that like people would go crazy about.
Oh my god, yeah, because
Like-
you can't move, you can't leave either.
Yeah, can't rent it.
Oh
Nobody
my
wants to live there.
God.
It's just stuck.
Yeah, and if you put it on Airbnb,
Yeah, no.
first comment.
0 stars.
Live next to the biggest
Garbage
hoarder. What's next, Doctor?
So a company, or I guess was it a single trader? Commodities trader Mercuria Energy made a deal with a Turkish supplier to buy $36 million of copper, and it turned out to be painted rocks,
Hilarious.
which is so hilarious.
This is the oldest scam in the book, and I can't believe anybody fell for this. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And like all the insurance was faked. And so like they're like scrambling to try to get their money back, but Can you imagine 36 million?
It's like, hey, Brian, I have a brick of gold at my house. Do you want to buy
that's
it?
the thing. It's like, I just wonder how far along. Someone had to know pretty quickly that they were like,
oh shit.
Yeah. Ouch. I just wonder how far along it got pushed up till someone's like, this ain't copper. Right? This is not. And that's the thing. In this kind of like world and environment right now, there's going to be some really creative new scams that I was telling people that you're just going to see, and this is one of them. This is why I made sure to have this.
This is a new scam?
No, this is an old scam, but they had to fake insurance paperwork. Yeah. They had
new hoops for the same old trick.
Yeah, right. Very good way to put it. Like they had fake companies. They might have had fake 800 numbers, fake extensions. Like, yes, I'm the insurance operator. We have inspected. Fake numbers for inspectors. All kinds of fake pay. All the I's and T's and I's crossed.
It says in the article that they had done business before, so it's like.
Well, sure, they might have set them up for it.
Yeah. Oh, here's $100 worth of copper.
Yeah, here's a small little thing. We have a good deal on big shipment.
Right.
Need payment up front though. We'll get you a sample.
Good deal on big shipment.
Yeah, right. Like, you can hear.
Oh my God! Can you imagine looking at these paving stones?
Can you imagine telling your boss?
That's not copper.
Can you imagine telling your boss?
You had been like, we got a really good deal on this copper.
Yeah.
No, and this is some guy trying to make someone.
But maybe that's a good deal for the amount. I don't know.
Someone trying to make a name for themselves for this company, and then you got to tell your boss like. We have some brick. Anyone who wants brick.
It's just what blows my mind also is like how hard it is to like get the money back, right? Like they're like, okay, now we have to go to court and we don't know if we're going to get our money. Mm-hmm. It's like the legal system just sucks.
Well, it's impossible in a situation like that. A company that like the transfer, the minute it hits that one bank, it's transferred.
Yeah.
To another place.
Yeah.
That it's totally impossible to trace.
Yep.
Totally impossible. And then it's made into Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Right? And then done. Like done.
Gone. Yeah, it's like, sorry, we need our money back. Oh, we're going to put you in jail. Okay, sorry. I'm in jail now.
Okay, yeah, come find me. And like all those people are fake. All the people's names were faked. Like the guy telling his boss, that's like the day you deleted.
Yeah.
Listen,
boss, you're going to need to sit down for this one.
Mm-hmm. You're going to need
so I'm quitting.
To sit down. Yeah.
Preface with
I don't work here anymore.
Yeah.
And here's a note.
Here's a note that explains what happened.
Yeah, just read this after I leave the building.
I leave.
Okay, first off, I quit.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, why are you leaving?
Well,
that's how you would solve this.
Dude, I would just.
That's not the worst idea.
If you were the guy, Richard, who bought the brick.
Oh my God. Dude.
Okay, boss. First off, I quit. Secondly, I'm gonna send this email.
You're gonna get an email from me in 3 days.
You can open it.
Oh my God! If I came up to you, if you were like, "Hey, Richard, buy me $40,000 worth of studio equipment," and I came in here with,
I would buy
bricks.
an NFT of that guy telling his boss that he.
So you can own the moment.
I would go to the bathroom and take a deep breather.
That's what NFTs need to be like.
Moments
of
tragic moments in history.
Well, whatever, but like, if I were the boss, I'd be like, okay, you got to leave. Roll it one more time, and then like record them. As your punishment.
Right.
You have to.
We need to record you looking at the brick and noticing that it's not copper.
Yeah, like there has do that. That's a great punishment. Plus, you can make some money back. See, God,
we're
can't
minting
believe
money on this show.
I'm not an art dealer.
I think you should be.
All right, doctor. Moving right along.
The Vatican
love it.
is running low on money
God is running out of money.
and is begging for scraps from everybody.
I would love to see the
Basically.
Vatican go bankrupt.
What's the exact story?
So they have warned that they've nearly depleted their financial reserves from past donations to cover budget deficits over the past few years, and is basically begging people for money to keep it going. They project a 50 million euro budget deficit this year.
This is now in the world of God. This is one of the bigger ones. Like in the world of gods, this is like one of the bigger ones. And it's expensive to power all them disciples.
Oh yeah, all that
and
all those
lights,
chandeliers and
these,
sconces.
and especially when you can't be doing tours, right? When you got pandemic issues.
And they have so much real estate that they have to maintain.
Yeah, this is
And
not
art.
a cheap god
Yeah.
to like.
The
And
Vatican,
like the
it's
Pope has such fancy clothes.
It's like 4 acres, right? The Vatican.
Well, not just that, all over the world.
Oh,
Like
Yeah,
they
it's
got
all
churches.
the whole Catholic Church.
They got churches all over.
wait, the whole Catholic Church
Not,
is.
I
so-
mean, not. They got the Vatican owns a ton of churches all
Yeah.
through Europe, all through the world.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they got tons of like art and priceless things that they could sell
Oh my
if
God,
they needed money, but they ain't gonna do it.
Dude, we should try to. We should go to like a police auction for one of the churches when it.
Vaticans?
Yeah, one of the Vaticans when it goes under. Just get it cheap.
I
Get it while it's
actually
hot.
Yeah.
rewatched the Tom Hanks one
Da
where
Vinci Code.
quite a few times just to see the Vatican archives.
Nice.
Okay, it's not real. I was. It wasn't
I was like, was
kidding.
it really filmed there? I don't think they let them in.
Yeah.
You
Nobody
had us
said
there
anything,
for a second. Well, I think we're not familiar with that anymore. So
Well, no, but that
I read those books.
Yeah, so did I. The movies were on all the time. They still are on TNT almost once a week. But I would have to say that the Vatican's probably, of all the gods, I don't think this one's going broke.
Well, not if they get the
Jesus.
donations they ask for.
I don't think so. I think they're going to be fine. Like, my concern, like, do you know who could make some bomb NFTs?
The Vatican.
Boom.
Oh yeah, you get to own certain.
Boom.
moments.
You get to own, like, them just, like, some dude flipping a page in some book that's, like, only been seen by 100 people in the last 1,000 years.
Or someone high profile gives a confession and you record it.
Oh God, that's.
Money.
But see, then you're breaking.
you're breaking the rules of God.
Yeah, let's just give me some of that art.
Okay, like a baptism, like some kid gets baptized. You can buy the NFT.
You know, I wonder if there are HIPAA laws like in baptisms. Like, can you show the faces? Because you know you have to get a waiver.
I don't know if the church has privacy laws.
Well, I mean,
I don't think they're covered by HIPAA.
Well, I mean, yes, there is a lack of privacy within the Catholic Church. I think we've established that
That's a good
of
point.
boundaries, a lack of boundaries.
But so this bankruptcy, not bankrupt, but like lack of funds is due to corruption, financial corruption within the church, mismanagement of money.
Oh, it is, and this is a big reason why they say they don't like the Pope hanging out there in Rome, because he's been trying to clear this stuff up, Pope Francis, because there's been tons of corruption. You know how many priests are getting payments to I don't, only the things I hear, but they are living very high, and a lot of people are getting their pockets lined along the way. Restoration jobs costing double than what they should. People getting kickbacks, stuff like that. This is huge money. Huge money. And I'm also mad I couldn't go to Italy this year. It's not really the Vatican's fault, but
Let's blame them anyway.
Doctor, what do you got?
So Philadelphia, which is in the path of a lot of migratory birds, has discovered that the lights of its cityscape has interfered with the birds being able to see the stars and navigate, and they crash into the buildings and die. So they have a new campaign to dim the lights called Lights Out Philly Initiative, in which they turn off as many internal and external lights in these tall buildings during the spring and fall so that the birds can see and navigate appropriately, which is a nice initiative, I think.
It is. Is it going to get passed, though?
Time will tell.
Yeah, I'm happy to turn my lights off.
Do you think it's going to get passed, Doctor?
I hope so. I don't know. I don't know anything about Philadelphia politics.
I say no.
Really?
Yeah, I just think cities have a funny way of not doing.
I think it's a voluntary thing.
Well, an initiative means they're putting
they're asked
forward.
to voluntarily switch off lights.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think it's a mandate. Yeah,
it's not.
I thought it was a mandate.
No. Voluntary.
it's a good PR move for Philadelphia. They're like, hey, look how
Yeah,
nice
it's
we are to
nice.
the birds.
No, it's very
Yeah.
nice. I personally don't.
It seems like people are on board. They're like, yeah,
that
we
Philadelphia
save money.
skyline is so small. Like if those birds, they should be able.
Yeah, these are some dumb fucking birds,
there's
dude.
not that many buildings in that skyline.
Well, don't blame the birds. They're supposed to use the stars to navigate.
Okay, but I'm just saying, a little common sense at some point in time.
Birds have very small brains.
Oh well,
They're programmed a certain way.
I know, but I think
Just help them out.
more lights would tell the birds.
But the lights,
Keep your lights on.
Yeah, like that's why. Like I was just trying to say it right. I think the initiative is wrong.
well,
Yeah.
obviously you're not an ornithologist.
Well, says I maybe we haven't talked about this yet. But
Your bird knowledge or migratory bird expert.
I see. I actually okay. What do you think the average age of the person who works at the Audubon Society is?
If
Like,
I knew what the
At
Audubon
the-
Society was, I could
the-
answer. But
the bird watchers.
The bird watchers, yeah. And they're the ones who are
old.
pushing this. Yeah. So I've been actually thinking lately, I'm like, because I'm always obsessed with like, oh, I'm too old to be an actor. I'm too old to be a comedian. What if I join the Audubon Society right now and I'm the youngest one by 40 years? You know?
I think you underestimate the appeal of bird watching to a lot of people.
You think there's a bunch of young guys
Yeah, I think
just
there's a
getting
bunch
into
of
the
young
game?
bird nerds.
Wow.
They,
Maybe I could
will,
meet-
they don't want you
I think you're
carpetbagging their
being
society.
way too ageist. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think the love of birds.
Don't be a bird
is-
carpetbagger.
I'm not a bird. I do not. I think they're
Dope birds.
animal carrying, disease carrying rats that fly. But that being said, I know other people who do like birds and who own birds. And
I think I get in there. I get a good NFT of one of those hermaphrodite birds that we talked about last week.
yeah. You know what I
Saw
wouldn't?
that.
What would make a bad NFT? The Ornithology Society. All right. What do you got for us next, Doctor? And our last one, right? Yeah, it's just.
No, I think we have two more.
Oh, we do? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
A German woman has claimed that she has been in love with and has reproduced with a roller coaster known as the Sky Scream.
Oh, yes. Let me pull this one up here. This is one.
I really like this quote from the article where she says, I spend every moment dreaming of a carnal and fusional relationship with it.
She's been attracted to objects since she was 12 years
Yes,
old.
my computer pulled up the other one twice. Okay, here we go. This is the woman. This is fantastic.
So is she in a monogamous relationship with this roller coaster?
It seems like it, and she says because of all these models of roller coasters she's made, that's their children.
Wow.
Now,
And
Here she is.
I understand this because this is the same reason I love food more than I love women, because food does not hurt me, you know? Like I always succeed.
I used to think that, but food hurts you eventually.
That's true, yeah. I'm trying to go
The
plant-based.
waistline.
Skies. Look at the. Okay, let's get you off the screen, Abby. Look at her skies. She got the Sky Scream mug, shirt.
You know, now that I see them together,
Book.
I understand it.
Sweet couple.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't beat her, so I feel
Okay, well, this is my only problem. It's like marriage. I never understood someone was like, oh, 2 men or 2 women can't get married. Don't understand it. Never understood that argument. I had some issues with human and animals, but I'm like, man, I mean, they're at least both alive. You know, like I got through that one. Okay.
I like
so
how
you
you
were
reason.
able to accept that too.
This, no. I'm like, this is just a crazy person, people like feeding into your craziness. And that's all it is. Like, okay, look, some people are into animals, not my thing. I think it is amazing how someone could even get an erection looking at an animal. I think it's incredible. Like, just
I can't get on board with that.
The
if they're
physiology
abusing
that
the
has to no, the animals. If you're in love in the mountains of Afghanistan with a donkey that is like, I'll let you fuck me.
I
Maybe
don't know.
it's in love with you too.
I don't know if that
yeah.
donkey can consent, but that's my sticking
So even
point.
if the donkey is in love with you, that's not
there's
consent?
no way for you to tell that
What if
a
the donkey's
donkey
like,
is in love with you? Yeah, you don't know what that
Well, if
means.
it
What
doesn't
that's
buck
like,
you,
stop abusing
if
me?
it doesn't buck you when you're
What
doing
if
that,
it's scared
What
and
if it-
traumatized?
What if it forces its vagina onto your dick?
I don't have that situation.
donkeys
so.
don't back up like that.
Yeah,
But see,
you
that's
know
what
too
I'm
much
saying.
about this
I
donkey
can't
situation.
get on this. I can't get on board with this.
I can't even get on board with the animal thing. So,
Okay, but this you're okay with.
well, this it's just not hurting anybody.
Here's the thing: a lot
There's
of people
nothing with emotions.
people would
I mean,
argue
I
that it
do
has a
think that
consciousness.
someone should
There's nothing with
psychiatrically.
emotions. She's wearing the Skyscream shirt, mug, but
I
like
think
very
if
emotional.
she should maybe she should have a
Seems full-
psychiatric assessment.
This looks better than most of my relationships.
okay, look at these photos behind it. These are what like a child paints when they have like these delusions of murdering their family. I think we need to come in and talk about these photos
I
that
do think
Sally's
she should have,
drawing.
you know, like maybe a mental health evaluation and not a news article. Maybe.
I hope they don't break up though, because what will the children do?
They get thrown in the dump house in Grenada
Yeah,
Hills.
what do you mean? What do you mean? You just stay on the cart and just ride the roller coaster. the rest of
Those
your
are
life.
the models are their children.
Just kidding.
Here's the thing: a lot of people believe that objects have a consciousness. Like at some level, like there's no difference between you and an object. Your brain is just so much more complicated that you believe you have a
okay,
consciousness.
okay.
As someone who
Try to have sex with
knows
the dog.
biology,
Try to have
I
s-
disagree with all of
try
that.
to have sex
I think Sam
with-
Harris would be on board with this roller coaster having a consciousness, because consciousness is your ability to measure your environment.
Try to have sex with the donkey and try to have sex with that roller coaster.
See which one feels better.
Now see what happens about each time.
I would rather have sex.
No,
with
like
the
these
roller coaster.
goats, like they buck people and stuff. Like
Okay, I think
goat.
I don't want to think about this.
Well, no,
stuff
like
anymore.
goat herders. To me, that was my first introduction to animal. Like a person falling in love with animals, like an Afghani goat herder. I think fell in love with it, and I was a young child reading this article, and this is when I'm like, what? A man did what? I think I even saw like a grainy photo. In my mind, I see this.
This explains a lot that you were exposed to these things as a child.
No, and I had to figure out how. Like, no.
Because of the bucking.
Well, not just the physical thing, but like you look at that and you're like, I'm in love. Like I love my doggy.
A different kind of love.
Way different.
Really?
Well,
Maybe you want to keep Richard away
hasn't
from
evolved.
doggy.
Yeah, it hasn't evolved. Yeah, my love the way that guy's has. Maybe yours has.
I've gotten a boner on a roller coaster before.
This is entering territory that I'm not.
Well, yeah, but
comfortable
it's the vibration. Like men can do it in the car. Like, okay, doctors, you're up next.
Okay, my favorite story
Yes.
of the day. Just threw it in as a heart warmer. There is a pair of friends, a dog named Henry and a cat named Baloo, who go on adventures together.
I
and
follow
they
them
had-
on Instagram
And they
also.
are very wonderful. They're outdoorsy. Baloo likes to ride on Henry's back. They have a new book on Amazon. Follow them on Instagram. It's Henry the Colorado Dog. They're very wonderful.
I think it's really amazing how they have made these dog and cat so like
They're best friends.
Yeah, it's really I find it so adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I just wondered, like, did they do it from birth? Like these?
Well, so if they mentioned the story is that they got Henry from a shelter and they wanted an adventure doggy, but because he was a shelter doggy, he was a little having separation anxiety issues, and so they got the cat to keep him company, and then they were able to just bring them all on adventures, and the cat started riding on the dog when he got tired, and they were both just super excited about being outdoors.
I think that's such a neat story.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a neat story. The cat and dog, like, I think it is so.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
All right, Henry and Baloo, the friend.
Super
Now,
cute.
I would like if they would introduce a rat into the equation
yeah, like
to ride on top of the cat.
Richard. Is that what you think it's missing?
I do, because I have a very soft spot for the rat, cat, dog, homeless guy in San Francisco.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah, and it would always be dog with a cat sitting on top of it, with rat sitting on top of the cat, and then he would have a sign and just say, "Please Venmo me here at
Shut up.
rat, cat, dog."
I've seen photos of this. It's real.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
So maybe they need a rat.
Abby's deep in the cat community, so that's a good crossover. I would believe.
Yeah, I mean, this is cute. Imagine a third guy in there too, but
Wow.
Very cute.
But
I feel like the rat might be more in trouble in the wilderness.
yeah.
To escape
I feel like it could be in a
hawk or
lot
something.
of trouble in the wilderness.
So
Yeah,
might
he
be
needs a
better to keep
home.
the rat at home.
This is a good premise for a Disney movie, I think. Henry and Baloo. That should definitely be licensed pretty soon.
Yeah, I think those names that they picked were very Disney-ish.
Well, Baloo is from a Disney.
Well, I think I like this
The Jungle Book.
this new camera angle right now. And thank you to all the people who've made this show and everything possible. The people at Vapor Brothers, Traeger Grills, at Alpha Dog Poop Bags.
Our viewers.
Yes, the
Listeners.
viewers, the listeners, people who I don't know and those I do, people who think my cholesterol is high, those who don't. Either way, I think I'm a phony. I think I'm not. No, I'm very
0% phony.
All are
Dr.
welcome.
Abby's fans, Dr.
Thank
Richard's fans, Doctor of Comedy.
Zoom comedian.
Yeah, Zoom comedian.
Also, WebEx and Teams.
That's so funny. Soon to be NFT king,
Absolutely.
the NFT comedy king. This
Yeah, you can buy jokes about me being Indian, starting at $5, $10
you would start at 5
for the shitty jokes.
I would buy a joke for $5 for you to support the community.
Yeah, just to get it rolling. But yeah, definitely for my closer, that's like $10,000.
Okay. This has been the Brian 10,000.